Guildhouse is an organisation with an incredible history. We've been going for 54 years and were established in the 1960s by a group of dedicated visual artists, craftspeople and designers who were intent upon making sure it was possible for artists to have more visibility in our community and that it was possible for them to have a sustainable career in the arts, and that's exactly what we're here to do still. And it's with great pleasure that we get to do that work. The sector is rich. We've got a wonderful history in South Australia and it continues to blossom. We provide support to the sector in so many ways, through residencies, mentorships, training, and that really spans both artistic development and professional development as business people, because being a creative professional is to be a business professional, and we do that in a very tailored way. So late last year, Guildhouse was fortunate to secure a +1 match funding grant from Creative Partnerships Australia, which is a federally funded body, which is all about supporting organisations like Guildhouse to be successful in engaging the support of donors and corporate partners. And it makes an enormous difference because it means that every single dollar that we raise via donations or corporate support will be matched by Creative Partnerships Australia. Now, our goal is $40,000 and we are already 2/3 of the way there, so we're really close, and your support will make an enormous difference to help us get to our target. Donors can make an incredible difference to what we do. We do receive some government support and we work in collaboration with some really wonderful and generous philanthropic trusts, but every single dollar makes an enormous difference because it allows us to put money into the development of programs and initiatives that serve the sector. And when I say serve the sector, I mean that allows us to meet with an artist one-on-one for a 45-minute session to work with them through their artistic and professional goals. It also allows us to invite other professionals to come into our program and teach and share skills. It also helps us to work really successfully with other partners, whether they're government or philanthropic trusts. Knowing that we have the support of donors and members of the community makes an enormous difference to our capacity to plan into the future and to provide our network of artists. We have over 1,000 members, to be able to provide them with the confidence that there are other people in the community that see their work, value their work, and want to see them survive and thrive. Mentorship really allows someone to work one-on-one with another professional in a way that is intrinsic to their own practice. They are the ones that define the goals. It could span everything from building professional networks through to building the confidence to embark on new challenges or open up new areas of their practice. A mentorship isn't always just a mentorship, and there are often some really surprising and really wonderful things that come out of them. And one case in point is Sandra Saunders, who was the recipient of a Catapult mentorship in collaboration with the Art Gallery of South Australia and the Tarnandy Festival, so a Catapult Tarnandy collaboration. She was working with Dr. Jess Wallace and was particularly interested in developing her painting skills. She had been largely self-taught, was working with very basic equipment, and it was an incredible opportunity for her in her later years of life. And the opportunities have just been extraordinary. We were there with her when she walked into the Art Gallery of South Australia for the first time and saw her own work on the wall. It was just incredible. And that work has now been acquired by the Art Gallery of South Australia. And she is going on to create ambitious new bodies of work. She's got a wonderful pipeline of exhibitions in train, and she's also been asked to mentor a new emerging Aboriginal artist, which is incredibly exciting to see that knowledge and confidence being shared with another artist at an earlier stage of their career. Artists, like any professional, need continued help throughout their professional life, and any of you who may be a business person will know that you have benefited from mentorship in your professional life and your professional journey, and artists are no different. The only challenge is that they don't necessarily have the capacity to have that support provided through an organisation. They need to seek that out for themselves, and when you are already working at the margins financially, it's actually really hard to take time out of your practice and invest in the continued development of your career. Support from a donor is more than the financial support. You have the capacity to introduce Guildhouse and artists to new audiences and advocate for the work that we do and support our work in that area, because artists often aren't necessarily seen by the majority of Australians. So donors and our advocates, our supporters, our friends make an enormous difference to us lifting the visibility of artistic practice in South Australia and ensuring that artists can continue to have an incredible contribution to our cultural life. This is an incredibly difficult time, and it's a really challenging time for the arts. Any of you who are watching this video will know well and truly that the arts were the first to be hit and they'll be the last to recover. For artists who have not just lost their income from their creative practice, they've also lost ancillary income from their teaching, from their public programs, and have largely been ineligible for a lot of the federal government stimulus support. So the work that Guildhouse does as an organisation dedicated to sector support and working directly with artists has never been more important. In our entire 54-year history, never has there been a time where we need the arts to be flourishing. We need artists to be able to be working, to be creating, and to be responding to this pandemic and this particular time in our history. Australia needs it. We need it here in South Australia.